Welcome back to Portal. We have arrived to the first of many difficult test chambers. We have the portal gun shooting its orange portal down there. We have some hazards over here. Here's a blue portal that I shot in. So we've shown up here by the button. When you press this button, that opens. Let's put a blue portal in there because we don't know what's there. That did not last long. Now we gotta wait for the orange portal to return. It is going to hit all of these. Uh-oh, it's shooting towards us. And now behind us, we can get into that room. Here we go. We're now trapped in here with the energy receptacle. And if we align that, it goes into the receptacle. I know I solved that very fast. Not much time to think. But that is how it is solved. Now we need to wait for it to align with the, what you call it? They call it the unstationary scaffolding. We have to time it so that it aligns and we can just hop on the lift like that. Now we're heading over to that portal gun and doing the not wise thing of looking into the barrel of it as it is shooting at us. They said don't have that happen, but that's about to happen again. Well, unless we pick it up. There we go.
The device has been modified so that it can now manufacture two linked portals at once.
Yes, it can.
As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of everyone in.
Subject hometown, here.
Yep, that's because it's a scientific miracle. Now, as that's returning to us, we see an office. We also see this button. If we press it, we can put a blue portal there. Hop on this lift, because that's going to close immediately. Now that's inaccessible to us. This could have been a lot of waiting around, but I've solved this puzzle multiple times and decided, no, let's not just like slowly wait and solve it. That's just how you solve it to move on. And we've already pointed out all the eerie stuff in the first part, so let's just go try to solve these more difficult ones a bit faster so we keep good pace. Otherwise, we're here forever. Contemplating things, like why are the puzzles so difficult? Why did the robot make it like such a learning curve, such a jump? That's a good question. Trying to fail us, maybe. Here's the 12th test chamber. And this is a momentum puzzle.
Fling yourself. Fling into space.
Yes, that's the momentum puzzle, and we have some box risks, but other than that, it shouldn't be dangerous. So, another office there. We have a momentum puzzle, and we could choose which portals to use. And that may have been a little bit tricky to notice. We now can control the orange portal, which is go in, blue portal, which is go out. What happens if they're next to each other from this distance? This is what happens. Woo! That is something we'll use in a later puzzle, but you can see that now that we have control of both portals, it's about to get interesting. It's also about to get a lot harder, because now it doesn't really tell you how to solve a puzzle. Can't shoot there, but you can shoot there. So all of the white surfaces can be shot at, but not the metal. So that substantially limits where we could place our portals. We're going to put maybe, well, it doesn't matter which one ever. I'll put the orange one there, because you're about to see a reversal. Usually that one means in, the other one means out. But here's a reversal. Here's where out goes. Blue is in. Let's try it. Yep, it doesn't actually matter the order. That means we can now place our orange portal there. So now it is higher up. And we still have a blue portal there. We can jump through it. Get all the way up here. Now there's a button. But where's our box? The panel came up to suggest we can now fly. Let's actually do it wrong really quick. Let's say we put a portal there. And we're going to try to jump through with the blue one. What happens? We hit that. So, there's a reason that specific panel opened up. So, let's get over there again. Because now we've landed at the lower level. Hop over here. Now we place the portal on this surface. Because, you can see, we need to get up there. We need to launch ourselves up there. You can hear that box just fell. So, let's get over there. It doesn't matter that we jump from this height instead of the highest height. Because now we fly up here. Now we have a box. And there's a button. Let's see if we can hop over there. Yes. That means the puzzle is solved. We just need to get back up there. That's how you solve this one. Get over there. Woo! Exactly. So, you can see the lights are kind of going out when she says and does those things, so... That means that the robot is bugged. Also notice I am now no longer referring to pronouns as it, but she. That means we are getting attached to the AI and being psychologically manipulated by giving it something that has a more animate pronoun rather than an inanimate one. That means we're being manipulated. 13th test chamber is where it gets a lot harder. Because...
Now that you are in control of both portals, this next test could take a very, very long time. If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out. An intubation associate will be dispatched to revive you with peptic salve and adrenaline.
Yep, so this can take a long time at first, and I think the first time I tried it, I was like 18. It took me like 30 minutes to figure out how all the pieces worked, but I was also overthinking it. There's a box over there on the lift. There's a lift. It's a 2-button puzzle, so you can see all these elements are now mixing together. One of those buttons is here, one of them's up there. There's an energy ball going across, and a receptacle right there. And you're not even in that room, you're in this room with a button and a surveillance camera. But there's a box up there. You can see that the risks are the boxes, the energy pellets, that's about it. But if you do this, that door opens, and now you can put a portal. Let's say that we have one maybe right there. But problem... we now go in there, but the box is up there. So, let's do this and get our box. Put our box over here. Open that. Now, I think we need that box to end up in there with us, because you can see there's only one other box, so we need to somehow transport that out there. What we do is, now we don't actually need that to be open anymore. We could just put a blue portal right here, drop our box in there. Now our box is somewhere. There's that portal. Okay, our box should be somewhere... yeah, right there by the receptacles, right there. So, it survived. We can now hop through. We won't get hit, I don't think. There we go. Now, the box is in here with us. And now we need to get to that box. But we need the lift moving. And probably to get the lift moving, we need the energy pellet to go through. So, we put a blue one here. Orange one goes there. Then when it bounces across the room, it should be able to hit that receptacle, goes in there. Lift starts moving. Yes. Blue portal there. Orange portal there. Bam. We are now on the lift with 2 boxes. If I could get them off. No! That is definitely my bad. Why did I put them both there? Good question. We are now going to try that again. Cool. Now, we're going to throw those. Throw those right off the lift. Like that. Now, we figure out how to put them where they need to go. Let's put one box over there. And then, let's put the other box over there. Let me do that better. I think it goes right there. Right there. Yes. Excellent. That is now open. I can show you a cool trick now that we kind of saw with the glass earlier. You could infinitely fall through portals. Whee! This is an actual achievement you can get, but it's kind of hard to align properly because you can see unless they are perfectly aligned, you could easily mess up and not have the infinite loop of falling. So, let's align those a little bit better. One directly up, one directly down. Way! If you do that enough times, you reach terminal velocity, which is an achievement. Fall 30,000 feet. So, that is a fun way to do that. Woo!
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
Yep, psychological manipulation. They're trying to make us think. They're trying to make us think about the AI's, quote, feelings, but do AI have feelings? No, not unless artificially programmed to. And so you can see some manipulation tactics happening here. Let's see, we are now in test chamber 14. Now you see a lot more risks opening up. You can see the box problem, the energy pellet problem, the acid problem, the momentum puzzle, and don't drink the water. So, that means we have almost every hazard And now it's across a long
All subjects
hallway.
intending to handle high-energy gamma-leaking portal technology must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance issues. No further compliance information is required or will be provided, and you are an excellent test subject.
Yeah, very creepy. So you could also see a problem of everything here is metal. So it's not as simple as being able to kind of like launch yourself up here into the lift. But that's where we need to go to exit. You'll see a button that opens this door. And you'll also see there's some kind of gap here. And then as you approach, some stairs show up. Now let me see if I can hack this. Doubtful, but let's see if we can do this. Because the floor will drop, and now you can do a momentum thing. Whee! Hey look, we're out of here. But that's cheating. Wait, can I do it? I could if I want to. That is how to hack the puzzle, by the way. That is how you don't solve this chamber. But we'll solve it. For anyone who wants to know how to solve it. Let's solve it normally. Alright, so we go over here. The portals have fizzled out because we are actually going to solve this puzzle correctly this time. You'll see there's a box there. And some kind of energy receptacle. But we want that box because we need that box to open that door over there. So, let's put an orange portal right there. Then use the blue portal over here. Fly across. Grab this box. Hop down here. The portal went away again because every single time the stairs change, it affects something. Like, I could actually show you what I mean. It affects the ability of the portal to stay in place. We need to go back anyways to put a portal over there. So, if you were to have an orange portal here, and then that would change. Oh, it's not going to change again. Basically, the portal will disappear because the shape of the floor disappeared. So we'll have an orange portal over there for the receptacle because that means we need to find an energy ball. We need to remember to keep track of our portals. So that one's orange, and it'll be a blue one we put down. Otherwise, we are going to end up with an energy ball going where we don't want it to go. Alright, you can see that these lifts go down into the acid and will submerge you completely in it. Try to avoid that. Floor is death. Floor is lava. So, we hop across like this. Exactly like this. And then we found our high energy pellet. We put that there. It goes into a receptacle.
Very, very good. A complimentary victory lift has been activated in the main chamber.
There we go. That's how you solve the puzzle if you want to do it the traditional way. Now we get on the lift. Whoops. Yes. That is how it is solved. You can see how it could be very difficult because learning where the two portals go and realizing they're interchangeable, it's not one goes in, one goes out, they could function as an either-or system. It's hard to sometimes remember how to keep track of your portals. First playing this game. Okay, 15th test chamber.
The Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and grief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
So, when she said cake, notice this. So some of these logos are faded out. You can see the box problem here, the energy pellet problem, the acid/water problem here, the momentum puzzle. This is what we've never seen so far yet. There's a fade out thing here showing some kind of turret. And then this is the cake symbol. Why do those exist? Why have we not seen them yet? It's chamber 15 out of 19. So we think we're getting pretty close to the end of the game. But are we? Let's check. So, oh yeah, so we have all those hazards. I think I mentioned that. So we have basically every hazard ever. Here's the one showing us the momentum puzzle. So then we see that there's a big incandescent particle field right here. We see this panel. So we are going to try to fling ourselves across the thing like that. It's going to take more than one try. So now we've made it across, and our portals have disappeared once we cross that particle field, as always. Now we see an arrow showing us, yeah, there's a high energy pellet over there. There's a warning there. And here's where the receptacle goes. But here's the tricky part. Let's say that we have one there. Then when it goes through, it still won't hit the receptacle. So we need to trap it over here. We need to make sure there's enough energy. So it could easily burn out before it ever reaches its destination. But I think this one is longer lasting. So Go here. Let's see if it'll last. Yes. There we go. Now the lift goes down. Hop onto the lift. Lift goes up. Now, proceeding over here into this new area. It's the momentum puzzle again, but now most of the floor is metal. Not only that, but if you were to try this like this, you will never have enough momentum to reach it, no matter how many times you go through. There's a different part to this puzzle. We are going to keep our orange portal, but we're about to do something different. Over here, there's some stairs, and a little extra area to get some extra jump. It won't work over here, but it will work over here. We're going to do it like this. Oops. I messed up. Hold on, we're going to do that again. We are going to align it like this. Woo! We made it. Okay, now we see another problem. There are energy pellets, but also a panel up here to suggest that we should actually fling ourselves over there to solve it. Because you can't shoot across these particle fields. So, let's get over there. Woo! And now we see that this is bouncing over there, and we need it to hit there. So I think that this is going to be the correct arrangement. That was kind of close. Yes, that is the correct arrangement. Now, we need to hop back over. Like that. Now the lifts are going. Multiple lifts are going across this light bridge thing. So let's see if we can catch a lift. Yeah, there's one right there. This is a little bit tricky, because thankfully there's more than one, but see how it's tricky because it's moving? We can stand in this portal, though, so it can pass by us, no problem. And let's put one over there. Yeah. And we'll try to kind of sneak our way in there like that. There we go. Now we're in a new room. And there's a ray of high energy pellet in here. So we need to somehow get that in there. But here's a trick to it. You go up on this lift. And you will see there will be two rooms like this. There's a button. Here's a button in the other one. So there's two buttons. One in that room, one in this room. We need to align them. And I just realized something cool I could show you once I do this. So before we solve this puzzle, let me see if I can do a thing. Huh. No. I missed it. Nope. I almost hit the energy pellet. There's a way to fling yourself in there. I'm going to see if I can do it really quick. Because the first time I was trying to solve that, somehow I did that before solving the puzzle. No idea how. But it happened. So, let's see how I'm going to time this and do this. Because one of the tricks is that, well, those things block your way. So, let's see. Gonna go here. Then I'll do it this other way instead. Going to do it like this. And then I'm going to jump. Nope. There is a way. I swear there is a way. Okay, that's probably a bit complicated. I think actually that's another way to do it. I'm thinking there's another way to do it. Do this. Do this. Do that. Huh. No. Almost. Yeah, there's a way to get in there. It's like a little Easter egg, and I think it's really funny. So, let's just solve this puzzle normally. What we'll do is that we will do this. Come on, turn around. Do this. And then, one portal goes there, one portal goes there, and it's able to make into a receptacle.
You can donate one or all of your vital organs to the Aperture Science Self-Esteem Fund for Girls. It's true.
Lots of references to that. Very interesting. And also you can see a radio in there, and I've gotten it before, so yes, I've been in that room. I just forget how to do it off the top of my head. It is possible, but yeah, you can see how these rooms are now sprawling and more complicated, and the puzzles get more difficult, so it takes quite a bit of practice to remember it right every time. Thankfully, I'm experienced enough to not constantly get lost and constantly forget how the puzzles are done, because that could be an element of frustration. 16th chamber.
Due to mandatory scheduled maintenance, the appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. The Enrichment Center apologizes for the inconvenience and wishes you the best of luck.
This is the first test chamber that's very dangerous and involves the androids / turrets. These things. If you step in front of them... Well, I was trying to demonstrate by accidentally just showed how to defeat it. Okay. Yeah, if you step in front of them, they will shoot you. That will definitely become a problem later. Okay. What I'm going to do with these, I'm going to put a portal underneath this one. Because I'm going to do something funny with this test chamber. I'm going to collect all the androids and just pile them on each other. So, let's see. That one right there. There you go. I use that one to knock over that one. That's how we'll solve this puzzle. By messing with them. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's also little marks on the ceiling like that. That's actually technically safer, because now you can see that android. Okay, I don't think that one landed on it, but did that one? Yep, there you go. Now when we hop through, we have 3 of them knocked over. Yes. And we just keep doing this, because it's really funny. And, okay, before we defeat this one... There are 2 boxes here and a handprint, and this is the first time we ever see any evidence of human life, and it says help. If we are to remove these boxes to figure out why this panel is propped open, it's kind of like a secret area. Suddenly, we see this very interesting display. We don't have a flashlight or anything, but it says the cake is a lie a bunch of times. Has tally marks, shows some kind of chocolate cake, shows some kind of eyeball, and all those tally marks are probably days spent here. There's like a box and another thing that might be a turret. It says, hello, can I help you? A trusted friend in science is what that poster says. And so someone else has definitely been trapped here. Here's a bunch of spark plugs. And then some eerie behind the scenes stuff. So here's a big fan. And then we can see here's like a motherboard. Strange music. Listen to that. Very interesting ambiance. Here we have empty milk carton. This is like an empty jug of water, I think. It'll say water on it. Yeah, right there. And then aperture science, I believe that says beans. Yes. You can also move these out into light. So you can see that someone, to not die, has placed a bunch of these food items here. There it is. Kind of see the logo for beans. I wish I could get a really good angle of it, but... There's the bean can, and then there's milk and water in there. So, interestingly, someone has been surviving on probably a diet of just that. And they never reveal who it is in Portal 1. You'll get maybe a glimpse of it in Portal 2, and I am going to play that as well. There you go. Ow. Now, you could also throw boxes on them like that. And you don't have to use the turrets, but we are going to also use turrets. So let's add the second box. Okay, and then let's add orange right there. And then we're going to start piling turrets on it. There we go. Because it's funnier to throw turrets at them than, like, defeat them with themselves. Okay, now there's going to be, I think it's 2 turrets. Kind of risky. Can I grab these safely? Kind of. Okay, yes. Can I grab these? Ow, 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 ow. Kind of, not really. Okay, so let's grab just 3 of them. We'll grab those 2 later. Okay, what we'll do to not die is... Huh. It's malfunctioning, so it almost got them. Let's add the boxes. Because the boxes should really help. Uh-oh. I think it's not at the correct... There. Let's see if that works. Come on. Yeah, I just need a delicate push. Wait a minute, did I get the other turret too? I may have, actually, because I think there was an extra one. Very cool. So, let me grab all the turrets we found, plus all the boxes we found, because it gets really funny. We just keep piling stuff up on itself. There we go. Because I'm trying to cause a turret avalanche of sorts. Some boxes will help. We are going to have all of these. Wow, there's a lot of them. How many is this now? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I think that's 7. Then we also have a bunch of these boxes here. And this one's kind of malfunctioning. There's also a mug and some wrenches. Oops, I just did not pick up what I meant to. That's fine. Okay. We could also use the overwhelming amount of boxes to get them. Let's see. Ah! That's where the X is. Right there. Okay. This is what we're going to do. You could also get the floor out from under them like this. And that's also funny. Okay, for the other one, let's see. We're going to still try to grab everything and pile it over there. So, with this one, orange, hello. And then we're going to pile those. And then just keep piling them. Like that. Get in there. And then the turret. Oh god, I almost put something there. Okay, there we go. And then hit more of those. All of those, honestly. Interesting how it kind of bounces when it doesn't properly align. You can push it around. You can see that hampered there. There we go. There's the pile of junk we want. Now. Okay, so there are no more boxes coming. So someone's messed with this. You can tell there's evidence finally of human life, but only over here. Wow, that's a lot of boxes. Maybe I should put that more easily accessible, because we're kind of towards the end of this chamber, but we're also not. So we are going to grab all of this and kind of shove it in the same corner. We're going to overwhelm them with overwhelming force. And by force, I mean gravity. There's going to be a lot of gravity hitting them from the mass of a lot of turrets and objects. So this is going to be amazing. Yes. This is an excellent amount of turrets. So this is also kind of like a trophy thing. Where it's like, oh, you thought you could defeat me in a live fire course, when I have this many that I've taken down already. So what we'll do... Can you use a turret here for the button? I know you can use yourself, but can you use a turret? Technically, yeah. Now, what we'll do is... like that. And then... just start dropping boxes. There we go. Took that many for it to get knocked over, but we're gonna keep throwing them all in there because we have yet to sneak up on turret. Whoa. I think that's piling up to a point. Oh, that one's just stuck. That's what's happening. Hold on. Stuck in the portal. Get out of here. Now I have too many objects. Come on. Ow. That hurt me. Amazing. And mysterious. Okay. Let's see if we can. There we go. There are also wrenches I could throw in there, but let's just throw boxes, more boxes. All of the turrets. Oh yeah, you can see that pile forming. Everything should fall in there. Everything imaginable. I will not accidentally get wrecked by this choice. I don't think I will. Let's see. Throw that in there. That goes in there. All of that goes in there. Okay. Now I should be safe. Here we go. Now this is the funny one. This is the really funny one. We've been saving this for this exact moment. The overwhelming force moment. Here we go. Chaos. There we go. Another thing you can do is kind of use a momentum puzzle on these things. Kind of have them overwhelmingly fall on each other. Like that. Yes. This is what you could do with Portal. There are so many things you can do with Portal. It's so much fun. Now, let's get our objects all over there, because there's something else to show that's really funny. Hopping in here. Woo! Let's see. I think that was the last turret, so... Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's do that. Like that. Yes. Okay, so...
Well done, Android. The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
Yeah. So she's kind of identifying us as that. Now, what happens if you put a turret through this? That's what happens. And I think there's kind of a way to kind of like do this. This is kind of evil, I know. It's beautiful, it's like music. Yes, so that's, I'm gonna say, one of the most rewarding chambers. Now, we're getting into, like, the last, I think it's 3 very difficult chambers, and we're hitting the 30-minute mark. So, yes, okay, we're going to save this for the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.